Okay, we're looking at the Hygger Aquarium Saltwater Light. This is a tiny little spotlight designed for your reef aquarium. It's actually really cool. You can see it says it's a full colour spectrum. It's got a fan on it to keep it cool, easy assembly, and it can go on glass less than 0.95 inches. And that's actually quite thick. If we look at the back here, this is the product parameters. So there's only one model of this. It's 30 watt, 36 LEDs, which is a lot in such a small light, and suitable for an 18 by 18 inch tank. So the light itself, the cowling, it's all plastic. There's no metallic coverings for this LED, but inside we can actually see that there's a fan in there. So that's an electrical fan to draw all of the heat away. And then further in there, we've got like an aluminium heat sink that goes all the way around the LED light itself. You can imagine this amount of LED chips is going to generate a fair amount of heat. So we can see here that adequate cooling has been provided. Mounting wise, we have got this flexible gooseneck. Interestingly though, the covering is like a rubberized and it's silky smooth. It's really nice to touch, and that goes from the top all the way down to the tank clip. But as we can see, it's a gooseneck, so you can basically put it any direction you want and it does feel quite stiff. As mentioned, we've got our glass clip here up to 0.95 inches, so can fit on pretty much any tank you'd ever want it to. The controller is very similar to a Hygger one we've seen before. It's pretty obvious how this works. So we have got our timer here, so basically whenever you want this light to start, you come in, you press the button, you can put it on a 6, a 9 or a 12-hour cycle, and the LED will change colour depending on which cycle you have selected, on and off. And I would imagine this is a brightness control here. And this one here allows you to change the spectra of the LED. We'll have a play with this right now. So let's test it over this little 30 centimeters cubed tank. As I mentioned, we can turn it on just using this button here. And there it is. Very nice spectra, very much a reef spectra. You can see just how bright this LED is. Wow, lots of power. And I can feel above, the fan is on, but it's not massively loud. It's just running enough to keep the airflow over the light. And yeah, it's a lovely reef spectra, isn't it? This is exactly what you'd expect for a reef tank. I can't see any shadows at all in this aquarium. It's filling the tank really nicely with light. There's no dead spots, it's getting right into the corner. And bear in mind, this is actually mounted pretty high above the tank. We can see here that it's going directly into the middle. We could, if we wanted to, we could play around with it and get it even closer so we don't lose any light overspill. But overall, that is a stunning amount of light from this little LED. And you can imagine actually, if you had a longer tank, you could have one of these every foot and a half, and that's pretty much all you're going to need. Let's play around with the controller. So I've explained already that this is the timer. We don't really need to do any more than that. I've already told you how that works. Let's play with the spectra button. So this is it on full spectra, I would assume. The next one, that cuts out the blue, or a lot of the blue. So we're now talking more 10K rather than 15 to 18K, I would assume. And then the next one is just pure blue. Wow, that's bluing out my camera. My camera can't handle how much actinic this is kicking out. And then back to normal spectra. In terms of the brightness adjuster, we've got, this is max power, 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. That's minimum, and then it works its way back up. One thing I'm keen to see is how fluorescent it will make my corals. So on here we've got a Fluval Bluetooth 3.0 on just mixed spectrum. We can see how fluorescent these corals are under that. So this is me now using the Hygger LED on the corals, and I would say it's about an equivalent level of fluorescence. Now bear in mind, this is more blue than the settings on the Fluval one, so we're seeing less of the rest of the aquarium, but the fluorescence of the corals is about equivalent. If I stick it on the blue setting, which is the fully actinic one, we can see that this Kenya tree is absolutely glowing. Unfortunately, my camera isn't picking up the blastomussa there, but it is glowing red. I promise you, I think it's a camera limitation. And we can see in the back there, the green star polyps are fluorescing as well. So yes, this will definitely make your corals pop and glow inside of your aquarium. So what do we think, guys? I think this is an excellent light. We can see the lensing in effect here. It's very, very directed, isn't it? We're not getting a lot of wasted light. The higher we go with the light, the more spread we get. Obviously, the closer we go, the more directed it is. Absolutely fantastic little light, this one. It's even making my little damsel in there glow. Absolutely glow up. Look at him. Fantastic. What a beautiful light this is.